Hello, everyone, and welcome to my review, part three of my Star Wars reviews leading up to Rise of Skywalker. I already reviewed episode one and episode two, so you were free to check them out. So now let's talk about episode three. Now, before going into this, I'm a huge fan of Star Wars, and some of my friends tell me that I defend the prequels a lot, and I don't care. I like the prequels. And before I get into this review, let's just talk about the prequels for a second. Now, for me, they are creative. It was the story that George Lucas wanted to tell. It was his vision without not telling the fans what to do. It was just his vision. And you need to respect that because that takes a lot of balls, and especially to tell like Anakin's story, Darth Vader, the right way. So for me, it wasn't an issue. I think that if you're getting into Star Wars, you should probably watch the originals first and then the prequels. But yeah, I mean, I like the prequels personally. Episode one was good. Episode two was okay, but episode three, dude, it was pretty great. So now go on to the review. This movie is about how Anakin turns into Darth Vader. It's basically of that. So one of the positives in this movie is the music. The music in this movie is pretty fucking fantastic. John Williams is knocked it out of the park. He was great. This is actually my third favorite, soundtrack of the entire Star Wars saga. So yeah, and the acting in this was pretty good. Everybody does their job. Hayden Christensen does suck at times, but he's pretty good. But Ewan McGregor, Ian McDermott, Samuel L. Jackson, Natalie Portman, everybody does their job good. So the other thing is the visual effects, especially for 2005, is pretty fucking mind blowing. And now that I've seen now like the whole movie, like the effects, and they still hold up more than episode two and one. So in the Order 66, you felt that scene. It was a great scene, and when like and another great scene is when Anakin and Palpatine are talking in like about Darth Plagueis the Wise, and that was a really great scene, and the fight scene as well is pretty fucking fantastic. I think that George Lucas did a huge and a great job on this movie. I think this was the story that he wanted to tell this whole time since Phantom Menace came out. Now, negatives, I wish this movie was a little bit longer. I mean, this movie is long, but I just wish it was longer, to tell the story even more, to expand the story. But it's perfect, but the way it is. Another negative is that sometimes Hayden Christensen acts like he doesn't act right, but he did a good job in this movie, in my opinion. And that's pretty much it. In conclusion, this is a great movie. I love this movie. Because I've seen this movie like 100 times. The This movie is great, and I will defend it with my friends. With everyone else. I think this movie is great. If you're a Star Wars fan, then what the fuck you're doing? Just go check it out. First watch episode one and two, but then go to episode three. But in my order, I always watch like the originals first, then the prequels, then this new trilogy. So, in conclusion, I would give Star Wars Episode Three, Revenge of the Sith, A minus. This movie was actually pretty great. It's one of my favorites of the saga. So leave in the comment section below what do you think of Episode Three, and like this video, subscribe, and stay tuned for my next review, which is going to be Star Wars Episode Four: A New Hope. I cannot wait to start talking about the originals now, and stay tuned for more videos.